again. Today I discuss what I did when I first hired a new escort. How did I create her presence online? The first thing I needed was content. So depending on the escort's personality and looks and her her feel, it's not just the look, it's also the feel of the person. I'm a marketing guy, so I'll put everything together in a nice little package to totally fit the escort's look, feel, and personality. First thing I needed was the pictures and the videos. And I always waited to pick a name. You know, we did use pseudonyms or fake names to separate the real person from the escort. So after I hired her, when I interviewed face to face, in the final interview, after the emails and the calls and all this, and I was ready to hire the escort. And after we interviewed, I put together a plan for the photo and video shoot. So first things first were the outfits. So depending on the escort and what kind of outfits she had, we discussed it. We had a discussion over the phone or the interview, face to face. And I usually preferred 3 or 4 outfits. And they were basically a nice dress, something that a client could see themselves taking them out to a nice dinner. And we did a lot of that in Vegas. And Orange County was a little different business model, so we didn't really focus so much on going out to dinner dates because most of the clients were in call to us versus out call to their hotel, casino, restaurant, etc. So I focused on a nice dress, a sexy dress. Another look would be the lingerie, very exotic lingerie, depending on the girl's body and personality. Garter belt, stockings, thigh highs, of course, always high heels that fit the theme of the lingerie. You want everything to match, of course. And I also kept in mind the body shape of the escort. So if she looked good in garters, we used them. If she had a different kind of torso to leg ratio, sometimes we bypass the garters and stuff. So I always wanted to make sure that we got the best look for that particular escort. So the outfits were important. Another outfit would be like some bra and panty sets from Victoria's Secrets with thigh highs or without, and of course high heels. Another outfit would be like role playing if the girl liked doing role playing. And I was always careful to what to advertise with the escort, because if the escort did not like to role play, then we did not offer these through the photos, because the clients looked at the photos and says, "Oh, I want that outfit." Some of the role play, most popular outfits always been like schoolgirl, maybe naughty nurse. Around Christmas, always the naughty, Christmas Santa Claus, outfit. Like a sexy French maid, and stuff like that. Superheroes, some superheroes, Wonder Woman and stuff, some guys like that. And also the dominatrix look, that black leather or pleather look, really tight, skin tight, with the whips and stuff like this. So yeah, so I put the outfits together, and some escorts came to me. They didn't have any outfits, of course. I took it upon myself to take them either online or take them to a place that was located next to my income locations in Irvine, an adult type of store, and we bought some outfits just to get her going on the photo shoot. So after the outfits, on the day of, which I usually shot on Saturday, since I worked Monday to Friday, 11 to 7, but I really worked from 8 a.m. to about 10 or 11 p.m. Monday to Friday. So Saturdays were the only days that I dedicated to photo and video shoots of the new models or updating the existing models or escorts photos and videos. When if they change the look, or or they just been around for 2 or 3 months, and I like to update them within 60 to 90 days. to keep things fresh and rejuvenate the interest of the clients into with the escort. On the day of the shoot, I made sure that the escorts, I took them to a certain hairdresser that I dealt with, and I took them to a makeup artist that I dealt with. And in the event, sometimes we weren't lucky to have the makeup artist available, so I would just take them to like Neiman Marcus. Of course, I live in Newport, so took them to Fashion Island, like Neiman Marcus counter, the makeup counter, um, or like Mac counter was a really good one. Another one would have been maybe at Bloomingdale's or Macy's or Nordstrom's, those kind of places. And they would do the full makeup. And again, we chose the makeup that really fit the model's look and feel that we wanted to market. And of course, her facial features, the eyes, the colors, the skin color, all that. We kept everything in mind. This is professional. So the hair and makeup were done, and then we went to one of the locations that I tried to use locations that the escort is going to use for in-call location. In other words, if Julie was going to be in apartment, say 3, then I used apartment 3 as the place to shoot for her photos and videos. And the reason why I did that is first I wanted to only let the girl know enough information for what's needed for the job. So she did not need to know all the locations. Why? It's a safety thing. And also I wanted to go with the way the escort looked, because all these different locations I ended up, like, as you know, with a dozen of them, and a lot of them had different color theme, different colors, and different look and feel to them. Some of them were darker colors, more masculine. Some of them were brighter, like yellows and greens. Some of them was just fuchsia or peach color, and some of them will have light blue, browns. So it depends on the escort, what she looked like, and where she's going to end up working out of. And I kept those in mind when I chose the location to shoot. Of course, I had the interior decorator come in and take care of the location, so all my locations were really upscale and very beautiful. And I made sure that the location was, of course, cleaned up, because my housekeeper usually came in Saturday morning, and she cleaned everything up, made sure she cleaned the location I wanted to shoot first, because I like to get things done early. And I made sure there was music there. Of course, we had music in all the apartments, and the right lighting. I liked daylight, because I didn't use studios, I didn't use glamour shots, I just like to shoot good candid shots with usually my phone, usually an iPhone. I liked iPhones. So I kept it really, really simple, but I made sure I shot really good candid pictures. So they don't look like they're fake to the client or overdone. They know exactly what the girl's gonna look like when she comes and sees them, or when they go see her, excuse me. And I always, under promised, all over delivered. So they always, pretty much 99% of the time, when they saw a new girl, would call me and say, wow, she actually looked better than her pictures. So that's something that was very, very important for the client. And the same thing with the video. I would shoot, so like I said, 3 or 4 different looks: lingerie, sexy dress, brown panty set, and some sort of outfit, a role play, a sexy outfit. Then, of course, I would shoot some nudes without the pictures and with the pictures. And I would keep the ones without the pictures for the public part of the independent escort website, because I sold everybody as an independent, as you know. And then if one of my existing clients wanted to see her face, because some clients face was really important to them before they saw the escort, of course, I would send it to them via private email. So I never really advertised the face shots, and that's for safety purposes also. And I wanted to hide the identity of the escort, not taking a risk of one of her family members or friends or whatever seeing it, and then it'll be a disaster for her. So I will always make sure that they understood that. And I also reserved the facial pictures to the VIP only section of each escort, which where I kept all the nudes and all the erotic videos and stuff like this for existing clients. And new clients were able to get the password for that section after they booked and actually made the appointment. Because at some point in the early 2000s, we had a problem with cancellations and they just wouldn't show up, okay? So I think it was up to like 30 or 35%, which is not good. So what I had to do is I had to devise a plan to reduce that. They'd book and come to the actual appointment. So what I did is I built a VIP section for every independent escort website. And I told the clients when they booked that if they make the appointment, after they're done, I'll immediately send them access to the username and password protected section of the website where all the good stuff is in there, all the sexy stuff, all the fun stuff, all the erotic stuff is in there. And of course that always enticed them and wanted them to actually make the appointment. So that actually reduced the no-show percentage from about 30-35% down to about 10%, which is really, really good in this business. Anyway, so going back to the photo and video shoot, so we'll do the with the pictures, and I always use the angles, the right lighting. Like I said, it's all just daylight like I'm using right now. It's the best light at the right time. And of course, I picked the location of the apartment or the in-call location that at that time, usually 10 or 11 in the morning, had the best lighting coming in, depending on where the location is of that exact apartment. So I kept all these in mind. It wasn't just, hey, let's just go take some pictures. No, I really put a lot of thought and effort into getting the best results possible, because presentation is everything. If you're looking for the client that's on this level, their presentation has to match. So I studied the escort's face and body, and I chose the best angles to accentuate the positives and not really hide the negatives, but not highlight them so much, because I don't want to bait and switch on the client. I didn't want to lie to them, pretend that, you know, hey, this escort is amazing, and go Photoshop and she's a C cup and I'll make her double D. I never did that. No Photoshop, no trick photography, no trick lighting, no trick angles. I just accentuated and focused and highlighted the positives and kind of stayed away from the negatives. So if a girl, let's say for example, had nice boobs, but she was lacking on the ass department, I focused more on the front and the back. And if I did do the back, I make sure she arched her back with certain angles so it doesn't look as weak. And of course the smile and the sexy and all the facial expression and stuff. I'm really into facial expressions to really communicate that with the eyes to the viewer, because these clients are very, very selective, and the clients that I had, the upscale clients, very intelligent, and that one look, that money shot, that one look that I picked usually is the one that really attracted them. The videos, I shot two types of videos. One is the regular video that I used, usually about 9 or 10 seconds for the advertising ads themselves, which they allowed us, basically R-rated videos for advertising purposes that went with the ads, like on Eros and City Vibe, etc. Now we shot, of course, and then for that video, I focused on if the girl knew how to, if the escort knew how to dance seductively, then we dance seductively. If she was a stripper in the past or whatever, use those skills. If she doesn't know how to dance and she doesn't have any special skills, then I just made her go, walk around, just like a runway model, a Victoria's Secret model on the runway, really nicely and classy and sexy, nothing raunchy or, dirty. And that was usually in lingerie, then a really classy lingerie or a bra and panty set with thigh highs and high heels, always high heels. You never take shots with bare feet. Now the second video I did was if somebody had a special talent, like some of them would know how to do the splits, some of them did the pretzels, which is really taking their legs and put it behind the neck, and which is very rare. Some of them did maybe other gymnastic stuff or just some fun stuff. And I just did that in the video just to highlight and separate them from everybody else. So it's kind of like a niche for them. Now the second video, I always talk about that, is I needed to do a video that was for safety purposes, which is to make sure that the person I'm dealing with is not affiliated with law enforcement. Two, these excess videos were important for the clients because I got them used to seeing what the girl's skills are, especially with oral, and that she really looked like that, especially the private art parts, the boobs and the private parts and stuff like this. It's important to a lot of guys. They want to see what they look like and how they performed. And also, I wanted to make sure that the escort was good at what she did. Just because they tell you they are doesn't really mean anything because, you know, I'm a professional. These women are in their 20s, sometimes in their 30s, especially the ones in their 20s, that they think that because one boyfriend or two boyfriends told them they're great or whatever, whether it's oral, whatever it is that they did, it doesn't mean anything. And what I found out, like out of maybe 100, maybe 2 or 3 were really good as they thought they were. The rest of them, it was just a boyfriend trying to get some, you know. And since we're getting paid 5 an hour or more, of course, we had to make sure that they knew what they were doing. They're professionals, and the client is coming to the professional for the service. So it was very, very important that they knew what they're doing. So this is the 3 reasons why I did these videos. It was basically a POV video of what we sold, which is mainly GFE, or girlfriend experience. We did not shoot the kissing because we don't put the face in there. And the rest of it, it was just oral, missionary, put a condom on, missionary, and then turn around, doggy, and then the money shot or the cum shot at the end, with taking the condom out, you know, coming out and taking the condom off and then just shooting. So that video, I edited usually for 13 seconds for my clients, which was only located in the agency part of the existing clients. Like I told you, I had an OC fund agency that I turned over the clients once I liked them. They saw 2 or 3 girls. I turned them over to my main website with all the girls were on there. So I showed that to the clients for the new girls so they could see the 13 seconds. And the reason why I chose 13 seconds because the study was made and the research concluded that the male needed more than 14 seconds to have enough material or content for ejaculation purposes. So I did not want them to do that. I wanted them to get to that point where they still had the urge and desire and then pick up the phone call. Okay, so that's the one that I showed them. Now, of course, if they wanted to see the full version, I had the VIP section inside my VIP website and or the girls website. And if they haven't been turned over yet to the OC Fun website, then I'll put that on in the username password protected section of the website, which is for the VIP clients that are already existing. And that's where the 5-minute or 7-minute edited video went on. Otherwise, it's just a 13-minute video that we put on our websites, whether it's the independent escort website, and of course I put it on the OC Fund, which is the name of the agency I had for all the clients that already knew what's going on. So that's about it for the photo and video shoots. Of course, I took everything, edited them. I had a certain look and feel to the website depending on how I was going to market the escort. So if she was classy, of course, I made it all nice and classy with grays and blacks and golds, and used usually 2 or 3 colors. For the website, you used the right font. I made the right logo. I included all the nice pictures. I probably chose usually about a dozen out of each look. I would shoot about 150 to 200 pictures in each photo shoot for 3 or 4 looks, and I'm at like about a dozen from each look. So I just use the process elimination. Now I'm a guy, I already knew from experience what guys like, and I always had a couple of money shots that I used, few of them for advertising purposes. So I kept the top of those, say 3 12 shots of each look. So every look had 12 shots, for example, a dozen shots, and I had 3 or 4 looks. So out of those 48 pictures for those 4 looks, I'm at like 2 of each that were money shots material. Now those are the ones I used, because usually it's 8 to 12 pictures that went on the ads for the advertising ads. So I took the best of the best out of the best of the best, using an elimination process, and used those to go on the advertising websites for Eros, VIP, or City Vibe, their best sections there. I normally used VIP, blondes if the girl was blonde, the escort was blonde, brunette if they were brunette, GFE was a big one, and some super busty ones if they were super busty. And when I worked with porn stars, of course, I put them on the porn star section. So once I had the pictures and the videos, and I had the website designed, and I put everything on there, the bio, which was already a pseudo bio. We did not use the right bio. There was some truth to it, but we did not want to tell all about the woman because we don't want to expose everything about them personally in the personal life. So Lisa is the real person. Roxy is the escort. Roxy's bio is different than Lisa's bio. So if she was from San Diego, we said she was from Washington or San Francisco or whatever. It's just different. Yeah, we did not divulge. If she was going to law school, we didn't say that. We said, she's going, she's an artist or whatever. So there's always plausible deniability, and also, put on their stats, the height, weight, measurements, eye color, blonde color, shoe size, hair color, all that stuff, regular stats. So bio stats. And then services, I saved those services for my existing clients. I put those services on there when I had New Girl. Now, as far as services on the regular website for independents, before I turned the client over, I kept them very minimal, and I just used keywords like, I will be the best girlfriend you ever had, and stuff like this. I didn't go out and say, come out straight and said, we're selling girlfriend experience, because that's a red flag for law enforcement, since it was illegal. And the same thing with the fee, with donation. We just used, donation is used for time purposes only. It was not for anything else. So, and always a disclaimer at the beginning of the website, which is 2257 disclaimer, which tells you we don't use any minors. There's adult material. You have to be over 18, and blah blah blah, all this stuff. So I made sure that legally we were protected. So that's pretty much all I needed for the content. Of course, every escort had their own email address that I developed. So if her name was Sexy Roxy, I try to get Sexy Roxy at Gmail. I like Gmail, sexyroxy@gmail.com. And I opened up an email account, registered, and I added a calendar to go onto my calendar, because I compiled all the calendars into one, because I was working with so many people at the same time. It was easy for me to have, at a glance, one calendar with everybody's appointments and schedule on it, which is another whole video. And the phone number, of course, each escort had their own cell phone number for the business. And of course, I had the physical access to the cell phone, because I'm the one who was that girl, that escort behind the scenes, hence why it's called Madam Suzanne. So I was the one that did everything. I'm the one who screened the calls. I'm the one who did all the texts, the emails, the calls, through a voice changer, as you know. Yeah, so each girl had their own phone, which I had possession of, and then of course every person has their own personal phone, and that's the one I communicated with them in between jobs, and who's coming and who's going through all my system. And let's see, yeah, so I just put everything together, put the advertising together. I choose the right words. I use very little text, because the guys really, when they're in that mode and they're horny, they just want to come and see a girl to get their rocks off. They really didn't read that much. So I kept the text to a minimum on the ads. I built them according to the girl look and feel, and chose the right words. And the location always upscale. Never gave them the exact location, just close by intersection 405 in Jamboree or whatever, so I know exactly the kind of area we're at. So I didn't give them the complex until they were already screened, and I gave them that in sections 2 or 3 steps, so they don't just right away go to the location. Wanted to make sure they were safe first, especially the first time. And those are basically the elements to create the online presence of the escort. Pictures, videos, the most important. The website, email address, phone number, reservation form, calendar, all the tools necessary to start and run the business of each escort. So basically each escort, I built in their own store to use for this business. And then it became a lot easier once I had enough clients, which took me about 1.5 years in Orange County to 2 years, where I didn't have to advertise as much. And I had told all my good clients that, hey, this is what we're doing. We got together as women and as escorts and put everybody together under one roof. It's a lot safer. It's username and password protected. They like that. It was safe, it was secure, it was discreet, and they could book an appointment within 60 seconds or less, which is amazing in this business because that's the biggest problem in this business. Girls don't want to usually, you know, answer the calls or texts or emails. And by the time they do, they have an attitude because 100 guys that were just messing around or whatever, they weren't serious, called before the real person called. So we did have an advantage. And once they became our clients or our VIPs, I promised them that they could book through text or whatever because we already knew who they were. And they were in good standing, clients in good standing. So within 60 seconds, they could book an appointment, which was really huge in this business. And we did that on the OC Fund website, which was username and password protected. And that's what had all the girls on there with all the pictures, videos. Each escort had their own little profile with the pictures, videos, services listed, if they did GFE, if they did CIM, which is common mouth, if they did squirt, if they did. And when I did those videos for those kind of services, the girls that did those kind of services, the XXX videos, I also included those in there. If she did anal, I included that in there to just highlight the extra services they did above and beyond the GFE. It's all about marketing, and you market your products as you see fit, and this is no different. And it worked really good. We had a good run, and I did everything I could to make sure it's safe and professional. And the presentation, as you know, is everything in any business. So I made sure that our presentation was tip-top, top of the line. And that's why we had the best clients. And it reflected also the income that we were able to earn at the end of the day. So everybody was happy, the girls were happy, they were making good money, they were safe. The clients were happy, they were safe, they were in a great location, upscale, felt safe, felt confident, felt secure, and the girls were beautiful. The clients, of course, loved that. And then, of course, I was happy too because everything was running smoothly. Of course, I worked my butt off, but that was the price I had to pay in order to keep it as safe and as secure as possible. I think I gave you enough information for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a lot of information. Currently, just to let you know, I'm halfway through writing my next book, which is how I made $1 million as an escort. Speaking for my escorts, how I made $1 million a year being an upscale escort. And as you can see, I wrote this in longhand when I was away on my vacation, and now I'm halfway through just typing and editing and stuff like this. Hopefully I'll have the book published by the end of the month, and this will be a great system that I developed to show people how I did it, if somebody's interested. I'm not promoting prostitution, it's just the way that I'm just explaining the way I did it. So, and just for information purposes. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Hope to see you soon. Send me a comment and email me to madamsuzanne2020@gmail.com if you have any questions. Until then, I will see you next Wednesday at the live streaming, which is at 11 a.m. on Wednesdays. I might change that time. I don't think it works for a lot of people because they're at work, especially the one here in West Coast and some in the East Coast as well. So give me your feedback. Let me know what you think about what time you think it will be best for live streaming. Maybe the weekend will be better. I'm not really sure, but we're trying to figure all this stuff out. Again, thank you. Have a great day. Stay safe, healthy, and happy. Okay? And if you're not happy, go ahead and find it. It's out there for you. Bye-bye.